So ladies and gentlemen, Sean McDermott is actually live on the podium right now. So we are going to start a tad earlier. Let's lock in and let's take a look. Welcome to the stream. Like the stream as you come in and fasten your seatbelts for another great time.
While we've been up here and then also transition back, Jeff Mazurk and his staff as well. And then Bill's Mafia, their time. Some of these people are taking off work. A lot of them are. Their energy and helping us build this environment that we've had out here every day has been nothing short of amazing. So much gratitude to them, and we get ready to transition back to Buffalo after this practice and head into the weekend's game. Injury-wise, I'm sure you guys are interested. We've got 10 out today: Sed Van Pran, Max, Alec, Khalil, Cole, Curtis, Caden, Shaq, Tyler Bass, and then Tylen Grable is in concussion.
Tyler Bass is still out. It's crazy.
Yesterday's practice. So that's a new addition. With that, I'll take your questions.
You talk about how beneficial it is to be here. You've been doing this for a long time. You do this your whole career, no matter what job you had coaching-wise. How much better are you at getting what you want out of being here for 2.5 weeks than you were maybe when you started here with the Bills as the head coach?
Well, I think anything you benefit from experience, and this is no different. You know how we operate here, what we want to do, and from a vision standpoint, in terms of what we want to get accomplished here. I think all of that helps, and certainly
yes, sir.
The staff and the work that they've done, the work that they've put in. They've worked extremely hard. Also, coaching staff, training staff, everyone been very urgent with their approach. Not that they haven't been in the past, but it's been very noticeable. Great team effort this year.
John, are you expecting James Cook to practice today?
Yes.
Oh, folks, breaking news. James Cook is practicing.
Well, everything for any player is, I expect every player to practice every day. If, that remains to be seen whether or not he's going to be here or not. But I'm hopeful he will at some point here.
Have you been in the building all week?
Yes. Yeah.
Participated in walkthroughs?
Yes.
So a bit confusing there. I'm not sure whether or not that he said he expects him to practice or whether or not that he is practicing. Let's unpack this.
It's an opportunity for somebody else to step up, show us what they've got, and the team moves forward. That's the nature of the business. It's you get these.
So chat, what is going on with my mic? So what is going on with the mic? Is the mic messed up? So does it not sound good? What's the deal? So right now I know that you can hear me. Hold up. Folks, what about now? Oh, shit.
Position that he's in right now is not an easy one. That said, we have to move forward as a team, and I'm sure he respects that.
What is your plan for Saturday as far as starters go, and particularly Josh?
Yeah, Josh will not play this week. The starters, the ones will play, give or take one quarter, and then it'll flow from there.
Wait, so Tyler's still not kicking? Is there a plan to bring somebody in, or is Ray kind of handle those responsibilities?
Yeah, we had a workout last night. We'll see where that goes.
So what about now, boys? What about now? What about now, folks? Let me know if that sounds better. Let me know in the chat.
You mean Mitch to start?
Sorry?
Mitch to start?
Yes.
Ray Davis kicking on Saturday?
He may a little bit. I don't want to give away any secrets strategy-wise at this point. New York's probably listening. So,
okay.
But Ray, I think it's good for Ray to get a little bit of as an emergency kicker during the season to get a little bit of maybe a little small warm-up or maybe an extra.
So Josh Allen's not playing tomorrow, guys, or Saturday, excuse me.
And get an extra point there for him.
He said he told everyone that he could kick. Were you part of that group?
Yeah, I was very aware that that he had the kicking shoe ready to go. I just don't know how. Like, let's say he scores this weekend, we may have to literally throw his shoe out to him. He's going to have to get it tied. We probably should get Velcro, the old G.I. Joes, the Velcro.
Shoeless kicker.
That's right. That's right, old school. That's probably how you kicked back in the day.
Just one more clarifier on things. You said he's been doing walkthrough. Has he been on team meetings and
Yes.
stuff like that?
Yeah.
You said the starters would play a quarter or something.
Give or take.
So for somebody like Mitch, if he's needed to play, would be with the starters, right? Except at the end of the game. How important is that for him to be in game circumstances with your starters?
That's huge. I mean, it's that's part of the plan, I guess I would say. Certainly want to be mindful of Josh, mindful of any starter, any of our players. We never want to see them get injured. The benefit of this is we hold Josh out. We keep him in a good spot. He's been playing extremely well in camp. You guys have been out here, and then we get a chance to look at Mitch and some of the other quarterbacks and real game live action with the ones in this case for Mitch.
A little too soon. Will Spencer be part of that starting group, or
probably a little bit too soon? I don't anticipate him being out there. We'll have a number of guys that are on our injury list that do some warm up and then they're in pads, but they don't play. So
one of the names you mentioned is still sidelined today is Cole, and obviously last summer, a lot of the same with him not being available. How do you get a player like that, who there are expectations for this season, ready when he has been unavailable these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, we do everything we can to fill the gaps, right? Walkthroughs, extra walkthroughs, making sure that he's ready to go. And the other guy that's not on this list actually is Taylor Rapp. Will not practice. He'll be out, give or take a week at this point. So.
Come on, Taylor, dude. He is such an injury-prone player. It's crazy.
About Cole. The hard part here is we feel like Cole's starting to come back, and it sounds like Taylor's going to be out for I think roughly a week.
That's so frustrating.
So that, as you've heard me say before, like Micah and Jordan, they're glue. Hey, I saw it this way. Yep, I saw it that way as well. Kind of that invisible language, I guess, right? And that connectivity is not there yet, and we're losing time here with those two in particular. That said, DeMar has been playing extremely well, so we'll see where that goes.
Is that the same knee for Taylor that he missed time with a week ago?
Yes.
What's the, timetable or prognosis for Curtis Samuel to get back on the field?
I feel like he's moving in the right direction. He ran a little bit yesterday, so we just, it sounds like he's feeling most comfortable moving straight ahead. The cutting piece and whatnot is still a work in progress. So I don't know for sure. I don't have a date in mind, but hopeful because he is making some progress here.
This is the second straight summer that he's dealt with something that has kind of knocked him out of camp. So how do you move forward, assuming he's going to be a part of the rotation there for you? How do you move forward with him trying to get him?
Yeah, like I said before, you close the gap every way that you can with walkthroughs, extra mental tests and whatnot. The fact remains, though, it's an opportunity for somebody else with all these guys that are injured on this list or other guys that are limited. It's we don't want to see that. We don't want that for them. They have to do everything they can to get back in an urgent manner. And yet it presents an opportunity for somebody else to show us what they've got and step up.
Understanding it's fluid. Does Khalil's injury feel like something that should have him back for the regular season? Like, do you think that he will be available when you guys are ready to go?
Yeah, that's what I'm being told. He's dealt with this before. It just takes some time to get back. The thing that makes me a little bit at ease with that situation is his rapport with Josh and Khalil is such a professional that I don't worry at all about his hunger to return or his ability to find ways to get himself backing up to speed as quickly as possible.
Sean, you've switched things up over preseasons regarding Josh. Do you anticipate you'll see any action this preseason?
I don't know. I'm going to take it on a day-by-day, week-to-week basis, John. We'll see where it goes. I'm in constant communication with Josh, and part of it too is how he feels, right? But I also have to make sure I protect him the best that I can. So it's he always wants to be out there. Believe me, he does. He's highly competitive, as you guys know, and he wants to be out there with his teammates. So I know this is not easy for him in that regard, but it's the right thing to do.
Sean, with James, I've already spoke about it a little bit. Brandon mentioned that this is the first time kind of here for you guys. From a head coaching perspective, how have you coached James and the team that you're
Yeah, as far as my relationship with James, we've had good communication, which I appreciate. The line between a coach and a player, to me, is a little bit different than what goes on on the other end of things, right? Just with business, right? So to me, it's important that we stay seeing eye to eye in terms of our relationship and our communication and our ability to communicate. And James has done a good job with that to this point, and I think that's important as we continue to move forward here.
Sean, you were talking about one player's injury, and then it just kind of stumbled upon, somebody else's script too. That's pretty telling. Do you feel like this training camp, there's been even more injuries than maybe in the past?
Nate mentioned to me last night, he said, the list has been a lot longer than in years past. So injuries come up. They do. They come up at different points in the season. I think I'd rather have him now than in the playoffs, right? So that's my hope at this point. That said, I am concerned with, like I've said, some of the pieces being out there together, especially some of our newer players, our younger players. You try and just, it's hard to show up in this league first game of the season and be ready to go. That's why this, things like training camp, things like going away, things like practicing against other teams, preseason games, it's all important.
What have you made of Tre'Davious White's training camp?
Very solid, very solid. Again, going back to, the way he finished the season, even I think he's playing.
Shout out Trey White.
He looks healthier even now than he did back then when he played against us. And every day he's out here working. You know him. He works extremely hard. He's a pro. He's extremely competitive. It means a lot to him. I mean, running hills, like I've said before, that's not something that was for the cameras. That's what he does. And I have a ton of respect for that, and so do his teammates.
Sean, you've spoken highly about Tyrell Shavers before, and you talk about injuries. He had one, and he got back quick, and the way he's been playing. What have you seen, and what shot does he have?
He's tough. That guy is tough as nails. I mean, he is tough, and he has an ankle sprain, and he's back in the second or third practice, and he's out there limping around. I mean, the red and blue in the warm-up period, he's running a slant, catches the ball one-handed, kind of still limps off. But he is tough as nails, and he's a true Buffalo Bill in that regard. And, he continues to make progress, continues to make plays. The trust factor with him is just goes up and up every year.
Sean, the decision to move on from Baylor.
Yeah, tough. I mean, that's here's a young man that is a really good person, really good player, and availability though is key. And unfortunately, our numbers are down at linebacker overall right now. And so when we have another injury, sometimes it gets tough. Just from who's going to play in the preseason game, we've got to play special teams as well. So that's a little bit of a numbers issue, and we'll see how it moves forward as we go here.
You mentioned multiple times you're going to be younger on defense and rely on some of those rookies in particular. How have you felt about their growth up to this point in camp?
Yeah, I felt really good about it. I think the coaches are doing a really good job. We've got quite a few young players up front that are they've been fun to watch grow and develop, albeit a short sample to this point. We'll know more after Saturday's game, but looking forward to watching them and seeing how they grow and seeing how they take on the challenge.
Albert has had a pretty consistent game. How have you seen him progress this offseason?
Yeah, very consistent, Maddie. Honestly, like in my own mind, walking around campus, I have these thoughts, and it's about my biggest one has been about Ed and his development. I mean, it gets me emotional. Ed Oliver came in here and was this like, wild horse rider. No pun intended. I mean, he loves horses, but on the field, he would drive the offensive line crazy, his own offensive line, our own offensive line, because he would just go 100 miles an hour in practice, and he would scare me because he would get near Josh at times, and I would have to warn him. I've kicked him out of practice, and that has not happened one time this year. And I think it doesn't mean he's not as intense, not as competitive. He's actually playing better. And then he's just matured and grown and become more and more of a professional every season, including this training camp. And I mean, that again is one of the joys of coaching and teaching. I'm sure for a lot of teachers out there, you watch these young people develop in more ways than one, and it's emotional.
When you talk about players developing, whether it's someone new or returning, has anyone surprised you this camp and just the way they've grown?
I think the whole team has grown. That's not a cop-out. Can coach answer for you, coach speak, but I really do. I think we've had a good camp. I didn't think we were where we needed to be at the red and blue a week ago, and these guys have focused in and made some huge progress this past week, these last 3-4 practices. So I very much appreciate that, their focus, the leadership, the intensity. Even yesterday, coming off a day off, those are usually days that are hard to get them jump started, and they come out ready to play.
Mitch starting the preseason game, is there anything you've liked about his camp specifically?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I love about Mitch is he's mobile. He's played varsity snaps. I have a lot of trust in Mitch, a lot of belief in him, and he's faced a ton of adversity already in his career and his journey, and he remains steadfast in his belief in himself, and he should. He's got good skill, and the players respect and trust him. Good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Don Mafia Live. As many of you know, I am live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. EST, where I give you all of the live breakdowns of what is currently happening at training camp. And it's a sad day because today is the last of the series of live play-by-play reaction of training camp. Final day, right? Pads, we learned a lot from Sean McDermott as he is walking away from the podium, walking out to the field for the final practice of this season. While it's bittersweet, it's great because now we are going to be having quite a bit of conversation pieces to touch on, such as preseason week 1. We just learned from Sean McDermott that we are going to see starters for the first quarter with the exception of Josh Allen. So it's Mitchie Biscuits. Mitchie Biscuits' number is going to be called on Saturday, which it's good. I get it. Sean McDermott also said he's not entirely sure Josh is going to see a single snap in the preseason. I think that might be a polarizing topic amongst Bills Mafia. I'm excited to have that conversation with you guys and hear your thoughts. Second biggest storyline, Sean McDermott expects James Cook to practice today. Another nice little tidbit we heard, while James Cook was holding in for the past 3 practices, he has still been going through walkthroughs. So again, maybe this whole James Cook is the enemy of Bills Mafia is largely just a story, right? And there's a bit more context deep into the details. The devil's in the details, as a great man once said. But super excited to dive into camp. What is going on, everybody? Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up sign. As many of you know, I consolidate each and every single piece of information that comes out of camp as it comes out. Say, for example, that you are currently working or you're going about your day-to-day. Please feel free to use me like a radio station, a live podcast, as I give you rolling updates so you are one of the first to be informed, all right? You are basically a proxy viewer of camp. As if you were in there in person, you are going to be one of the first people to be informed. So just do me a favor, hit that thumbs up sign. 242 of you are in here rocking with me, 159 on YouTube, 49 of you are on X. And do me a favor, roll call in the chat right now. What corner of the United States are you located in? What corner of the globe are you located in as we break down day 11, the final day of training camp? Do not be shy, folks. Do not be shy. All of the lurkers in the chat, let me know, where are you tuning in from? I'm not going to lie to you. I crashed out on my boom arm earlier this morning. I was trying to tighten it so that it would work. I broke it. So I had to throw it away, and I have Old Faithful, the mic stand right here. But have no fear. I do have a new boom arm in the mail. I will have that situated before my Saturday live play-by-play reaction, as many of you are probably interested. Some of you probably also noticed that my audio sounded so bad once I started, and I got to tell you why, because I had the wrong cord plugged in. It was coming from my video camera, in which that I am looking at you in right now, but we're good. It's obviously a rough start to the morning for myself, maybe a little groggy. Your boy was up at 4:30 in the morning working out, but here we are. Let's lock in, man. Where is everybody tuning in from? We have Virginia is in the building. Stady, New York is in the building. Fremont, Nebraska, Delaware. Here we go. We have Miami, man. Talk to me. California, East Buffalo, Singapore continues to be one of the most unique places, or most unique viewers I have seen in quite some time. Following from Brigham, what's going on, man? 2 mics, 2 mic, 0 Dan, for sure, man. I have been taking L's from this boom arm all week. I'm not going to lie to you. Following from Belgium, what's going on? Greer, South Carolina is in the building. Arlington, Texas, Connecticut at work. Work lurking in the delivery truck van, currently in Hamburg, New York. Big Daddy D, that's my neck of the woods. Well, that's where I grew up, which is pretty funny. Rochester, New York, Northern New York, Cincinnati is in the building. California Bills, work listening in Maine. Man, baby, lock in, boys. We have a great day of practice coming in. That mic is giving you a better fight than Bob, for sure, man. Karma is indeed coming after me. Maybe it's all the beatdowns I give Bob in the background, but have no fear, all right? We have a new boom arm in the mail, and we're going to figure all this out. We're going to figure all of this out. New Zealand, let's go. Dude, shout out to New Zealand in the building. It's probably like 9 p.m. over there for my boy right now, dude. And he's tapping in with Buffalo Bills practice. That's what I love to hear. Dan is going global. Benny, look at that, dude. Shout out my boy. Deltona, let's go Bills. Adam tuning in from Buffalo, New York. Adam Christmas, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? I think Josh Allen is dealing with old man shoulder elbow injuries. Nothing serious, but natural stuff from past injuries. I haven't heard anything from that. From what I understand, he's been dominating camp, and it's largely been a storyline a lot of us have just brushed under the rug because we anticipate Josh Allen to dominate camp. But from some of the headlines I have been reading, it sounds like Josh is even showing signs that he's potentially improving mechanically. And that's crazy because how much can an MVP truly improve? Based off of what I've been hearing thus far, maybe Josh wants to go in and do maybe Josh wants to go into this year and go back-to-back with those MVP honors. But again, we don't care about that. All we want is our damn quarterback to raise a Lombardi trophy for our good friends right over here in Buffalo, New York. Locked in from Charlotte, North Carolina, Thomas Staples. Hope all is well with you, my friend. He is sitting out with Bubble Wrap Buddy. Locked in from Charlotte, North Carolina. Talk to me. Dan, Bob is a worldwide phenomenon. Oh, dude, you know what? I love that. Dude, Bob just ended up getting his contract extension at the beginning of training camp during this streams. He did hold out, but we were able to lock down a record-setting, market-changing contract, and he's back, man. He's back. He's ready for the beatdowns this year. Josh is totally healthy. He is indeed. He was working on his trick throws the other day, too. Back-to-back MVPs, just Super Bowl MVP this time. Talk to me about that, man. That is something ideal. But, all right, so going back to the Sean McDermott press conference, a couple of takeaways here. Number one, we know that James Cook is expected to practice today. I am still waiting on confirmation. Is Cook going to be there? Let's see what we have. We have Josh Allen will not play in Saturday's preseason game versus the Giants. Bills fans worried about Khalil Shakir can breathe a sigh of relief. Sean McDermott says he's expected to be back for the start of the regular season. I'm not going to read too much into that. Remember, right? And this is not me trying to be a pessimist either. because I would love for Khalil to really be that dude, like for the Buffalo Bills. But I got to tell you guys, I don't think that he's going to be nearly close to 100%. And I don't really see him being a big part of our offense on week 1. And that's not a bad thing because Buffalo does like to spread the ball around, and we're going to need somebody else to step up. So whether or not that's Josh Palmer, that's Elijah Moore, it's James Cook, what have you. But that Baltimore Ravens defense is no joke. So I can only hope that Baltimore takes the exact same trend as last year and they have a slow start to the season, right in hostile territory, and Buffalo ends up coming out of the business. We have Conway, South Carolina is in the building. Funny enough, I went to college in Conway, South Carolina. Coastal Carolina University, my friend. From what I understand, that is one of the top teams to play on College Football 26. Shout out to that. And obviously, I was a frat guy, which is surprising, I know. Bob is a better referee than those NFL ones. Give him a contract on top of there as well. If I can remember, I don't think Josh Allen took a snap in last year's preseason games either. I feel like we really don't need him to, right? Shakir can sit out week 1. January is all that matters. You're right. You're right. Hey, Dan, what's up? Ronald Enix, what is going on, my friend? I hope all is well with you. Very much like I hope everybody in here is living their best life right now, man, as we lock in to see what exactly is happening at Buffalo Bills training camp. Again, a recap per AJ Cebulski. Shakir back for week 1. James Cook returns. No Josh Allen on Saturday versus the Giants. Great news all around. Now, look, Sean said that he expects James Cook to practice. That does not confirm it. Until I see a picture of James Cook walking onto the field with full pads, I'm not particularly sure that I am going to buy into that. So as soon as when I see confirmation of Cook on the field, then I think that we probably did pretty damn good. I'm feeling solid right now. Guys, 268 of you were in here rocking with me this morning. Good morning. And get ready, fasten your seatbelts. I am going to be consolidating each and every single piece of information that comes out of Buffalo Bills training camp. Treat me like a radio station, and let's lock in. Bear with me for Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. Don't worry about that. Hello, Mr. Carreras came in. Don't worry, Mr. Carreras. I am back. I am locked and loaded, ready to go. Keon Coleman is a Florida wide receiver. I got big hopes this season. Sounds like my boy Benny is a Florida Gators fan. Look at that, man. It's SEC football. And so at least you got something right, Benny. I'm pretty sure that you're a Dolphins guy, but that's okay. That's okay. And say that you're a Bills guy. Sincerest apologies here. Week 1, Bills, Baltimore Ravens. You know, it seems so far away, but in all reality, it is nothing but a month away. A lot is going to happen within these 30 days, folks, and I am ready to keep you guys ready to go. On pause. I'm back. Have no fear. Mafia, share this live. We need to get this Facebook stream numbers way up. William, have no fear, my friend. I appreciate you for tapping in on Facebook. I really, really do. Say, for example, William, that like you really want to take advantage of the most hyped up chat. YouTube is where we have our biggest numbers. So say, for example, you'll want to meet some more friends in the live chat. I highly recommend you come on over to YouTube. It's the exact same stream. It's just on a different platform. Like, for example, like we have 163 people on YouTube right now, 72 on X, 19 on Facebook. So say, for example, that you want to be a part of a more engaging live chat, see what people have to say, because I do know that people on Facebook don't see all of the live comments in Facebook. So check it out, man. I highly recommend you come find me on YouTube, subscribe over here, and get in on the action. Goodell said that they're discussing a college football red zone channel. I did see that. I am absolutely thrilled about that. As many of you know, I also host a college football show for Roundtable Sports. Second episode is this evening. I really hope that you guys have an opportunity of clocking in with us. Have second episode of Bill's Roundtable as well. So things are beautiful. Things are beautiful, ladies and gents. Lock on in. Today, August 7th, means this. We have Mike Bunt from Trainwreck Sports. Shout out Trainwreck Sports, man. They are some OGs. I would say that they were probably one of the first people to like cover Buffalo sports. Out of the entire creator economy, I would probably say that they were the first. Significantly underrated. I feel like they need a hell of a lot more love. That's for damn sure. Hopefully we can get that in. Red zone for college. Man, I got to tell you that. Dan, 0, technology 2. You're right. You are right, man. It sucks because I did have to drop another $130 for a boom arm, but is what it is. Hey, baby, that is the nature of the business over here. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario. And so it's a write-off too. So not terrible. Anyway, to hell with Cook. If he's going to be a biatch, we ride with Davis and Gore Jr. We don't need clowning around in the locker room. We have a job to do. Richie, my boy, Richie Fresh. I appreciate you tuning in like you always do, my boy. Shout out to Richie Fresh for the donation. Look, from what I understand, it sounds like he's practicing today based off of what Sean McDermott said. Again, I am not going to celebrate until I see an update with our good friend James Cook in pads on the sideline. And I'm really going to celebrate once I hear some news that he ended up taking a live rep on 11 on 11s. I'm really going to celebrate once I see him suited up for preseason week 1 and he takes a couple of snaps here and there. Quarterback Mitchell Trubisky will start. Mitchie Biscuits, QB1 on Saturday night, ladies and gents. The rest of the starters will play around a quarter per Sean McDermott. I feel like no one's upset about that. Tough call, number 1 QB, Aller versus Manning. I'm not entirely convinced. That Manning is going to be a part of the draft class like this year. I am now kind of the belief that Arch is going to stay one more year in college, but I will tell you who my QB 1 and 2 is going into the NFL draft. It's going to be Garrett Nussmeier or John Mateer from Oklahoma. Hot take, I know. And Lenora Sellers might have something to say about it as well out of South Carolina. Those are my 3 top QBs going into this. Excuse me. Never mind. Cade Klubnik as well. He is bar none the number 1 quarterback who will probably be the first QB taken off of the board, more than likely first overall pick. Have Cade Klubnik, followed by some Nussmeier as well from LSU, followed by Lenora Sellers, and followed by Mateer. Top 4 quarterbacks in college football. Lock in for any of you that are desperately looking for a quarterback in next year's draft. I can tell you what. Where can I find the episode 1 of Bill's Roundtable? I don't see it on the channel page, only on Shorts. Blake, I can tell you what. First episode is on the regular Roundtable Sports channel. today it's going to be on the Bills Roundtable channel, so have no fear there. Say that you wanted to tap in from last week's episode, feel free to do so. Sean said he expects Cook to practice. Next sentence, he also expects everyone to practice means absolutely nothing. Exactly. Meaning I am not going to be convinced unless I see James Cook on the sideline. William, good news on Trey Day. Glad he is practicing and ready to... Dude, I know, man. It is solid news. Well, at least Khalil will be back by week 1. I'm surprised McDermott ever gave a timetable. Sounds like it is not too bad. Hey, look, I am also looking at this optimistically. I don't understand why people are hating James Cook. He deserves the money. I would never understand how a running back is so important to the team. What is the most indisposable player on the team? Yeah, for sure. You know, like I feel that say that a player ever wants to be paid, I think that's a pretty easy way to like lose the fan base for some odd reason. So again, like I said, I'm super empathetic. I feel that with all of us, like we have once felt that we were underpaid at our job, right? Based off of hearing that somebody down the street at a different company that does the same thing makes more, that pisses us off, right? Like these players are no different from us. Sometimes you want to raise. It doesn't matter on the scale. Sometimes, yeah. So I try to be or show a sense of empathy, like when it comes into these players by itself. I do think that he'll ultimately end up getting a contract that's similar to Kyron Williams, which happened a couple of days ago. And these past couple of days have felt like years, that's for sure. But here we are. I think Syracuse's quarterbacks are solid guys, especially the kid that came from Notre Dame. Shout out Syracuse, man. Syracuse might have something to say as well right in the ACC. That's going to be interesting. Checking in from St. Cloud, Florida, Dan, with the James Cook situation, if that goes bust, do you think the Bills' offense still has enough depth, Ray Davis and Ty Johnson, to overcome that? So I think we'll get our answer, or so at least a start to an answer on Saturday. Look, so we look at Ray Davis and we look at Ty Johnson, and we see a lot of ceiling. We see what they were able to do with limited snaps, right? But we haven't seen what they're like when their snaps almost double. So really all we have is just upside. I'd probably feel confident that they could, especially since our offensive line is so elite. But it's remained to be seen. It's very easy. It's very easy to predict or say, oh yeah, like let's look at Ray Davis's yards per carry on that one game that he played on week 12, week 13. It's hard for us to have solidified proof that he can do that on a regular basis where we only have a running back that has proven that rate on a regular basis. So yes, I would feel confident, but I would not mind some reassurance in that. Josh Allen will not play on Saturday preseason week 1. So excited to join. Oh, look at that. Look at that, folks. All right, we are sitting here patiently waiting for some updates coming out of camp. Camp should be starting in about 10 minutes. Show me a picture of James Cook in full pads, and I'm going to be feeling pretty damn good. I feel the preseason games will be determined the QB2 spot. Absolutely. Starting off with Mitchie Biscuits first half, and then I'm assuming Mike White is going to have his option as well. What's in a roundtable? What do we mean? We have Rebecca coming in the chat. Here's the thing. He never looks happy. That could also be why people aren't tolerating this. Yeah, but so again, I really like to look at it from a unique lens. I feel like each and every single one of us at one point during our careers have felt disrespected and underpaid. I'm not saying he's in the right, and I'm not saying that all of us have ever been in the right when we have felt that way, but that's why I never really shit on players when I see them act like this. And in all honesty, he really hasn't been misbehaving. So like he's not going on ahead and like tweeting a bunch of shots or something along those lines on social media or dropping subtle hints. Like for the most part, he's been pretty quiet, like really right outside of that Instagram comment, like right that he put. So again, so I just like to look at it from that perspective. We have, how do you think replacing the chain gang with camera technology for first measurements will affect the regular season? Oh my God, about time. About time, Nick 716. My God, if we had that technology last year in the AFC Championship game, who knows? Maybe we would be having an entire different conversation right now because Josh Allen did convert that tush push. I will die on that hill. But no, I mean, it's definitely interesting. Like, so there's some things that I really hope are never replaced by artificial intelligence, but there are things that I do hope are. And the chain gang absolutely needed to be replaced because one of the most, let me pull it out of my ass and make the decision right on field was ball placement. I would say that the most inconsistent thing that referees do on a regular basis is making that determination of spotting the ball. That's hands down. Like, I'm not even convinced that they know exactly where the ball went, right? So spotting is definitely something that I have been a huge proponent of for artificial intelligence to take over. Let's see how it looks like in the preseason, right? The depth this year is still strong for the amount of injuries. I agree, and that's awesome. And do you think that Hard Knocks will go into depth about the James Cook situation? Definitely. There is no way that they are not going to take advantage of that storyline. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much, my friend. Here, hold up. Oh, what? There you go. There you go. Have to make sure I'm in the full frame right here. The depth this year is still strong for the amount of injuries. Light of truth. I ask that because we all know that establishing the run game early prevents a team from becoming one-dimensional. Having it pass a lot and catch up, we obviously got a solid receiving core. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am actually excited to watch Jackson Hawes preseason. Look, for a tight end that wasn't typically included in the passing side of things, he's been making plays at camp so far. And that's something I feel like we can all be encouraged by. All right, folks, we're going to sit here and wait for the first update. Send me some pictures. Show me if James Cook is in damn pads, right? Show me if James Cook is in pads, for the love of God. Talk to me on this. Talk to me. Mike has come in. Dan, if Cook is a full go today, that could only mean a deal is close to being finalized. It's that or he just accepted. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to get paid. And so I'd rather not get fined either. So look, he's going to play. He's going to play. He's not going to hold out, man. It's kind of like zero options for him. Bills favored in every regular season game. How many games are they favored in and out with Cook? Still the vast majority of them, I'd probably say. So I'll say this, right? So do I think that James Cook is a top 5 running back in the league? For sure. And so do I think that he's top 3? No. And do I think that James Cook is a necessity for the Buffalo Bills? No. And do I think that he is a luxury for the Buffalo Bills? For sure. And that's not a knock at James Cook, right? Because what I think is when you have a quarterback like we do, and bar none, we have the best quarterback in the NFL. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. I know that Bills fans have been told for years, oh my God, it's Mahomes. You have to respect the rings. Stop right now. As far as current day, as far as skill set and individual achievements, showing up when it matters most, statistically, being able to win with whatever supporting cast he has at his disposal, we no longer have to walk on eggshells. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL in this current time. It's how it is. My point here is You don't need an elite running back or you don't need an elite wide receiving core when you have a quarterback like that. You don't. So I don't think it's a necessity yet for Buffalo to go out and pay top dollar for a running back and or a wide receiver until Josh Allen starts to get on the wrong side of 30, 33, 34, where he's not as much impactful on the ground as he used to be. That typically is when I would start to make some changes. And that's when I would completely shift over my stuff. Bills, 14 wins and 1 split with the Pats is what I am saying. I would not be surprised if that was the case. I really wouldn't. It's about time America gets to see why Bills Mafia loves this damn team. And I got chills when they did a cutback to Jim Kelly running out of the tunnel on the show. I did see some TikTok of some girl videotaping her boyfriend and like he was tearing up like watching that episode. Dude, I get it. I love this team as well. All right. I totally get it. If we will be fine without Cook, why not just trade him? Because again, he's a luxury, right? And he's on his final year of his said contract at $5 million. We're getting a running back that's top 5 in his position group. He's familiar with the offensive line. Don't fix what's not broken, right? Like, don't fix what's not broken. That's my thought process. William, I would like to see our quarterback 2 and quarterback 3 make the same connection with our players at QB1. All right. We have monkey business. So the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl with Allen, nor have they gotten to the Super Bowl with Allen. Bills fans need to get more humble. No, look, we have to stop evaluating quarterbacks based off of team achievements. Making it to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, winning any regular season game is a team accomplishment. I hate that fact when people are just like, oh, well, this quarterback has a ring and this one doesn't. If that's genuinely how you feel, you better never tell me that Trent Dilfer is not a better quarterback than Dan Marino. If that is your sentiment, then you need to start telling the world that Nick Foles and Trent Dilfer and Jalen Hurts are by and large a better quarterback than Dan Marino. That's basically how you need to look at it. We need to evaluate quarterbacks based off of their individual achievements, what they do. Fourth quarter comebacks are fine. Same thing with game-winning drives. But I'm getting sick of this, oh, he has a ring. Right? Like that exact same sentiment. Like, so who was the worst? So the 2015 Peyton Manning, who had one of the worst seasons of all time, right? Like, it's basically how it is. So with the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm trying to think of one of their weak spots. Yeah. So that sentiment just doesn't make sense to me. Like that sentiment like makes zero sense. Like that's like saying like when the Kansas City Chiefs won while Juju Smith-Schuster was on their roster, does that mean that he's one of the best wide receivers of all time? No. Come on, man. It's backwards, and I am doing my best to make sure that I deprogram you guys from thinking that rings really mean something. That rings are a quarterback exclusive achievement. That's how it is. So with the Eli Manning is the GOAT because he beat Brady 2 times. Exactly. It's such a backwards thing. Like, stop like saying wins are the reason why a QB is great. That's not so much the case. And some people might say, oh, well, like you're saying the exact same thing about Tom Brady, saying that he's not the greatest of all time. That's not what I'm saying at all. Brady has shown that he can win a Super Bowl with a variety of different supporting casts. He has shown that he can implement himself into a brand new system by literally leaving Bill Belichick. That's not where I'm going at all. Rings are not a good way to evaluate how good a quarterback is. It's just true. It's true. That's how it is. Dan the man. Question, Dan. I heard that the whole blocking scheme would have to be changed if Cook isn't the back. They basically are saying if Ray Davis is the back, that they have to completely change the way that they block. Did you hear this? I did not hear this, but I would not be surprised, right? Very similarly to how so a QB and a wide receiver need to make adjustments based off of their chemistry. It's the exact same thing with an offensive line and also a running back. That is indeed true. Pepe is coming in. Josh is very good, but Patrick is on a different level and every quarterback in the league. So again, I really fear that people are thinking that I'm coming out and saying that Patrick Mahomes is a bad quarterback. He's not. But there is no questions asked that Josh Allen for the past 2 years on a statistical basis has been a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. It's not a wild take. Like literally just bust open a stat sheet for the past 2 years. Josh has been the better quarterback. It's how it is. It's how it is. It is ready to go. Benny is saying, first ballot Hall of Fame, most touchdowns in NFL history. Dear Buffalo, please help Josh Allen. That's like saying Nick Foles. That's like saying Nick Foles is the GOAT for winning the Super Bowl and then was kicked off of the team right afterwards. Yeah, dude, like it's so silly. It's so silly. Like I don't take anybody seriously that says, oh, man, like you have to respect the rings, man. Like that's why he's better than so-and-so. Like give me a break. Like, yes, was there a time where Patrick Mahomes was the better quarterback than Josh Allen? For sure. For sure. Like I'd say 3 years ago, right? And even during that 13 seconds game, I'd probably say that Josh and Patrick Mahomes were on the exact same level. It's just how it is. We have Scott Blakely. A deal is brewing for Cook. I feel it in my bones. No worries, Mafia. Bills beat is all right, guys. Let's see what's going on in camp. Sean McDermott said he expected James Cook to be at practice on Thursday. James Cook is not at practice on Thursday. Things have just gotten ugly. James Cook not at Bills practice to begin the final day. Okay, so it sounds that Cook said, you know what, Sean? I am not showing up to practice today. Suck it, my friend. He is not here. Cook is not here. Bills practice is about to begin, and there's still no sign of James Cook. Sean McDermott said he expected him to be out there. He's been holding in since Sunday. Cook is nowhere to be seen to start the final day at St. John Fisher. The James Cook hold-in has officially reached day 5. He is nowhere to be seen for the beginning of Thursday's practice, the final day of St. John Fisher, according to the Bills head coach Sean McDermott. All right, guys, look. So it sounds, again, as many of us have assumed in the chat right now, that just because Sean McDermott said that does not mean that he was going to be suiting up. And that was not particularly the case. We have Monkey Business crashing out right now in the chat. Dude, look, here's the deal. Here is the deal. All right. Like, you are not going to change my opinion, and you're not going to change anybody else in this chat's opinion. We have Josh Allen right now is the best quarterback in the NFL. No one's playing better football than Josh Allen. It's true. Nobody is. That's how it is, man. Look, I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is bad. I'm not saying that Burrow is bad. I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson is bad. I think all of them are the quarterbacks that have the elite title or the elite label attached to them. But I'm getting sick of walking on eggshells. Bar none, no one's playing better football right now than Josh Allen. No one has played better football than Josh Allen for the past 2 years. That is how it is. Kansas City fans are trolling, and y'all think about humbleness. Josh TD Allen, my man, scores TDs like absolutely nothing. Cook said we are going to end Hard Knocks with a bang. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Why not? Why not, man? Guys, as you are coming in, do me a favor, smash that like button. It is the easiest way to show love on this channel. 217 of you are in this chat right now, and I feel like we've been averaging about 250 to 300 live viewers each and every single morning. I am going to continue this morning show all season long, where we are going to be unpacking a bunch of different storylines. So I really hope that you stick around, folks, all right? Just make sure when you subscribe, you turn on those bell notifications, and let's lock in, man. We're going to be having a good time. why have the starting offensive lineman play if Josh is not playing? So it is important for them to have their reps, right? We have Keith and Suzanne Blackburn. If you were to bet your house on the Bills or the Ravens winning the AFC Championship, who would you choose? I would be picking the Buffalo Bills on the AFC Championship for sure. It just has to go with how Lamar plays in the playoffs. Like that is so the one stain on his legacy so far is that he has yet to have a good performance in the playoffs. So I'm not sure whether or not that's a mental thing for him, but he's never been able to like really get it done. So I would probably end up making it happen. So remember when Cook said he likes his money? What's the plan on doing week 1? Bro's about to get fired. He's going to play week 1. Right now, he's not getting fined because he's there. He's participating in walkthroughs. He's just participating in the bare minimum so he doesn't get fined. That's technically true. He can basically tell the trainers, like, yo, like my hamstring's not feeling well. He'd still technically get paid, but like that's kind of how it is. Have not seen running back James Cook come out of practice as it gets underway. This is the 4th straight practice missed as part of his hold-in as Bills wrap things up at St. John Fisher. He did not come out to practice. This is now the 5th consecutive practice. Vibes are high for the final day. Dude, look at that, man. Guys, get in. It is time to get in. Let's talk about it. Dan, don't mind monkey business. He's upset about the Kansas City team is not spotlight this year. If anything, James Cook has brought the bigger spotlight when it comes to the news and the hot takes. Look, so I feel like a lot of people just obsess way too much over QBs. Like, I'm not saying Kansas City is a bad team. I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is a bad quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback, right? Like, he has proven it year in and year out. And I'm not sure if Kansas City has just, sort of shifted how they utilize Patrick Mahomes, but they haven't made Patrick Mahomes the staple of their team to win for the past 2 years. Why Kansas City has been winning for the past 2 years collectively I'd say 75 to 80% of their games has been due to their defense. For the past 2 years for the Buffalo Bills, they've relied exclusively on Josh Allen. Like, that's how it works. And that's great. Look, I would love to be in Kansas City Chiefs fans' shoes where we could have a staple of this team, like have such a dominant defense that's only allowing close to 20, 21 points per game, or maybe even into the high teens. And we just preserve Josh and just utilize him in game managing situations. Pat still has it, folks. Like, he's still a dog. 4th quarter comebacks. He can still pull a drive out of his ass. He's one of the best in 2-minute drives in the NFL / the 2-minute offense. And like, say that you don't have somebody's favorite quarterback as number 1, then you are a supervillain to them. Like, no, dude, like, come on. So I'm a Chiefs fan and love Josh Allen, and statistically, he has been better during the regular season for sure, but the legacy-wise, 25 years from now, kind of hard to argue. So the accolades. Yeah, dude, look. So with MVP, for sure, right? But rings, I can't do it with rings. I can't. And again, like Weston, I am not saying that Pat Mahomes is bad. He is an elite quarterback. He's elite. And Pat Mahomes at the beginning of his career, by and large, better than Josh Allen, 0 questions. I'm just saying right now that I genuinely believe that if Josh Allen was on the Kansas City Chiefs for the past 3 years, I think he would have the same amount of rings. I really feel like context is important. I really, really do. If Kansas City had Josh Allen for the past 3 years in Kansas City, I also think he would have the same amount of rings. I'm not even saying that Josh would have won some of the earlier rings that Kansas City got, like that first one. But for the past 3 years, I don't think it's a crazy take to say that with the great Andy Reid would not have been able to utilize Josh Allen's skill set right into achieving what they have already achieved. Like, that's it. Buffalo Bills, after Bills win the Super Bowl. I love it. I love it. He's also playing a dangerous game of chase with Bean, though, right? Or is this really about injuries all around the league and camp? It's the $1 million question. Maybe we'll figure it out like during Hard Knocks. I think that's the next question, but we will see. Shout out to the Bills, man. The Bills out here doing their thing. And the Bills out here doing their thing. We have running back James Cook, who's nowhere to be seen in practice. Oh, my God. Folks, less than an ideal situation. Y'all are going to watch Influencers in the Wild right now as I make an update on the James Cook situation. Bear with me here as we lock in. All right. I'm going to heart that real fast. All right. All right, dude. Let's make some content real fast, boys. Look at that. It's Influencers in the Wild segment. Check this out. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are. No, I'm going to start over. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in day 4 of the James Cook hold-in. Now, in case you missed it, Sean McDermott took the podium prior to the last day of training camp this morning, and he said verbatim, "I expect James Cook to practice today." And then, of course, he added that secondary sentence saying that he expects all players to play. So Bills fans almost felt a sense of relief that our RB1 was going to be a full participant. Well, lo and behold, once practice began and reports are coming in suggesting that James Cook is nowhere to be found. Now, in Sean McDermott's press conference, he did say that for the past couple of days, while James Cook was holding in, he was a part of all of the walkthroughs in practice, which I suppose is a good sign. But many people are assuming that this just got very, very ugly. Now, this is a saga that we have been following for quite some time. When will this get done? Why is he holding in? Does that mean the contract is close? He's trying to preserve his health. Does that mean the contract is very far off? I suppose we won't know. Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this. And by the way, so I'm currently streaming right now on the YouTube channel. If, for example, you want to come in, feel free to do so. All right, bang, bang. It's just business. The Cook contract will get done. Bob signed with the Chiefs. No, he didn't. Oh, yeah. All right, folks. So, of course, I need to go on ahead and give an update to my boys right there on the TikTok land, on Instagram land. Guys, say, for example, that you enjoy my content, and say, for example, that you don't always see me on YouTube. I promise you, you will see me on TikTok and Instagram almost all day. I do my best to give as many regular updates as humanly possible. So go follow me over there at Real Dan Mitchell on all major platforms. I know that you guys will be rocking with it. Bill's beat is in the chat. Josh Allen heater incoming, followed by a celebratory karate kick on Joe Brady. The last day of camp vibes are thick, with a couple of C's, might I say. Josh Reed. Look at that pinpoint accuracy, dude. Look at that mechanics right there, folks. You are watching the best quarterback in the NFL do his damn thing. My God. Come on, dude. Come on. Dude, come on. Who is stopping this guy this year? You could have me be wide receiver 3 running out of the slot, and I would be cooking. I would be cooking as long as that guy was throwing the football. I'm not sure if I'd be able to, like, hands up a 65-mile-an-hour heater from Josh Allen, but rest be assured, you already know what this guy does on a regular basis, man. Make it happen. Hey, Dan, would you rather have the statistically best quarterback rate in the league or a championship-winning QB? So you can't say that a quarterback is a championship-winning quarterback without saying, oh, yeah, like you. So would you rather have the best long snapper in the league, or would you rather have a championship-winning long snapper? A championship-winning player is a team accomplishment, folks. Championships are team accomplishments. Like, that's just how it is. I would rather be on a team that wins a championship, but, like, not just have a player that's attached to it. It's how it is. It's how it is. So you need star power. So the Buffalo Bills scored the most points in the NFL last year. Like, that's a fact. And we brought back all of the pieces that contributed to that scoring. So do we? Like, do we need star power? Do the Kansas City Chiefs need star power? No, they don't. Right? Like, they've been dominating for the past couple of years with no star power. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Look, I feel like you're grasping at straws and like you're really trying to convince me that you are right, but we are not going to be on the same page ever. It's just how it is. Like, we are not going to be on the same page. Like, so you cannot convince me that wins are a quarterback stat. It's not. It's not true. Let's see. Senke is in the building. Cook standing on business. Second best player. Who did we depend on when Josh hurt his hand? Not Ray or Ty to carry the load. He's worth every penny. Ray Davis is Singletary 2.0. Look at Burrows. He's an amazing but unlikely to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, right? So I think that we can all agree, right? So I think that we can all agree that Burrow is better than Jalen Hurts, right? So is that a bad take? So I think that we could probably list several quarterbacks that are better than Jalen Hurts, right? So does that mean that Hurts is better than Joe Burrow because he didn't win a Super Bowl? No, because that's a silly statement. It's like, my goal is just to make sure that we are philosophically consistent. Like, we have to be philosophically consistent and can't say, oh my God, look at the rings. That's why he's better than so-and-so. Come on. No, that's not the case. Dan, and do you prefer the number one crew on CBS, Nance, Romo, or Brady and Burkhardt? I prefer Brady and Burkhardt. I also prefer Brady, surprisingly enough. He does his thing. Let me see what else we got here. Okay. No James Cook on a 4th straight practice. Sad news. Very frustrating. Sad news. Bills announced starter plan for the preseason opener. James Cook is nowhere to be seen at practice, despite Sean McDermott expecting him to practice today. Cook is on day 4 with a hold-in. All right, guys, let's go on ahead and get some news. What is going to happen? What is happening over here? So we have the Josh Allen is the best quarterback. He did win the MVP, so got to give Dan credit. I mean, yeah, dude, look, I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is bad, right? But it just frustrates me when people are just like, oh, yeah, like Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen are not even close. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on, bro. Like, you're trying to tell me that if Andy Reid didn't have Josh Allen for the past 3 years, that he wouldn't have walked away with the same amount of rings? Come on. It's the same shit. It's the same shit, man. We have EMCG. Is Joe Flacco better than Dan Marino? Yeah, right? Probably not. Probably not. We have Drew D. All I know is all this Cook BS is pissing me off. We have Monkey Business. Bro, do me a favor and take a walk. You are just getting way too angry this morning. It is way too early to get your blood pressure up this high, my friend. It is way too early. Josh has scored 40-plus touchdowns 5-6 years in a row. I don't think any quarterback's ever done that like in his life, bro. Come on, man. Listen, say that you wanted me to sit here and just go through the accolades. I can. But look, no one's playing better football than Josh Allen. And stop yelling. Stop yelling, monkey business. Think of all the records Josh Allen has broken over the 8 years, yet never made it to a Super Bowl, not enough star power. It's not the case, right? So the star power on the offense makes sense. On the defense, for sure, maybe I can give that to you. But football is a game of inches, my friend. There's so many moving pieces. Like, people act like winning a Super Bowl is the easiest thing on the face of the planet. If that was the case, then the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots wouldn't have won 80% of them for the past 10 years, right? Come on, dude. Come on. It's injuries happen, bro. Like, key pieces end up going down at the wrong time. A championship is typically determined by one specific play. That is equally likely to happen on the defensive side of the football or the offensive side of the football, or more likely who has the last possession. It all comes into it. I don't know who you're trying to convince. I don't know who you are trying to convince. We have Blamo time. I'm good with getting a decent trade for Cook, maybe a safety or a wide receiver. Ray Davis would be fine at RB1. We have Ray Davis coming in. Hey, man, shout out to you. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. You are the man. He did go on to say he expects everyone who is healthy to practice, so we wait. No James Cook for a 4th straight practice. Oh, my God. Josh Allen heater. All right, guys, listen, we're going to be going out ahead and making this happen. All right, so we have JTL is in the building. Damn, it's too damn early for all this damn cooking. Oh, man. So that means that Kenny Pickett better than our boy Allen, man. Cut it, folks. Win them rings on the bench and never played a snap. Cut it out. It's crazy. So I'm not even sure what team we have our boy roots for. I'm just kind of curious. I'm cool with Davis being RB1. Can't wait to see what FG3 is going to look like in the preseason. He balled out last preseason. I mean, let's see. Let's see what's going on. We have EMCG. Josh is John Elway 2.0. It took Elway years to finally get a Super Bowl, but won them eventually. It's going to be awesome. James Cook. Okay, I love that. He is a Cowboy. We have Rep New York is saying that he's a Dallas Cowboy. Sean Kula has come in. No one is going to trade a starting safety for a running back. William has come in. So the monkey business, look at how many elite players had to be signed to get Pat those rings. Josh had to make do with what he had and still broke records. I don't think that you want to compare the accolades with Patrick. So again, I'm not downplaying what Patrick has done. But what I'm saying is, for the past 2 years, Josh Allen has been a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. It's true. It's true. For the past 2 years, Josh has been a better quarterback. Like, it's natural in the NFL, right, folks? Like 4 or 5 years ago, I think that we'd all agree that Aaron Rodgers was one of the best QBs in the NFL, right? He was probably top 2, top 3. Like, where's Rodgers now? He's probably 15, 16. Things like that happen. Like, time. Like, you start to see players, like, not be themselves, not be as good as they used to be. It comes with age. I'm just saying right now that now it's Allen's time. It's just how it is. But hey, look, Keith, we agree with the comment right about Elway and Josh. We have chat replying to me, not even making sense. Dan, this is your following. You're a part of it too, Monkey Business. You were a part of it too, my friend. I looked it up. In his last 7 seasons, JA17 has rewritten the NFL record books. It's about to be 25 to 30 records. No other guy in NFL history has had that kind of impact. Josh Allen is number 1. It's about individual play. No cook at camp, just get the deal done. It happens and it's frustrating. Josh Allen will get a Super Bowl. In fact, he will get more than one. I'm fine with just one, if that's the case. I'm fine with just one. We have Terry Pagula and Brandon Bean having a chat on the sidelines during camp this morning. I'm sure we'll hear all of it. What? Oh, man. Bills rookie cornerback Dorian Strong not participating in practice this morning. He wasn't in Sean McDermott's injury rundown this morning at all. Maybe he's getting some rest or something. I'm not sure rookies are allowed to get rest, but he's not participating. That is interesting. He did go on to say he expects everyone who's healthy to practice. So we're looking at some updates right now when it rolls into it. 376 of you are in the chat right now. 236 of you are on YouTube. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't had an opportunity of doing so already. We are sitting here live reacting to everything that happened at camp. Shout out to my boy one more time for donating that $10, man. You are the man. Shout out to all the super chats thus far. That is going the extra mile. But say, for example, that you want to show a little bit of love. And so make sure that you help me out. Just go ahead and just smash that like button. It's free, and it propels it out to the YouTube algorithm so we can recruit more people onto the show, which I love. Well, the heat got turned way up today, for sure. Morning, Dan. Rhonda here from Massachusetts. Rhonda, I hope all is well with you. I thought that was him too. What's up, Dan? Hope all is well. So agreed with that dumb take that Mahomes is not in the same stratosphere as Allen, as per Richie. He said Allen has not made any magic plays in Is He Blind? Go Bills. Like, it's not even like right to a point. If somebody were to make an argument, if someone were to make an argument that Pat is better than Allen, I'm not mad at them, right? I'm not mad at them at all. But I do think that they are holding on to individual production from 3 years ago. Because say that you were just looking at the past 2 years, it's kind of hard for me to buy into that. But I wouldn't be pissed. What pisses me off is when people say Pat and Josh are not in the same stratosphere. That's what pisses me off. Like the same sentiment that goes into, like, Pat has all these rings. That's why he's the best quarterback right now. Like, you better acknowledge the Chiefs long snapper by saying that he's the best long snapper in the NFL right now. I think we can all agree that that's not the case, right? Say that you attach Josh Allen, that Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL this year just because he won rings. You better tell me that the Chiefs long snapper is by and large the best long snapper in the NFL. That's how it is. I'm just trying to get all of us to be philosophically consistent. That's my goal here. Dan, I adore you. Thank you, Jude. I appreciate that. Joshes are coming soon. If someone says Allen and Mahomes aren't close, stop talking sports with those people. Just cut them out of your life. Just cut them out of your life. We have monkey business. All right, dude. Look, so I'm fine with you talking ball, but there's not going to be any personal attacks to anybody in the live chat. So that's kind of where I cut it off right there. All right. So no personal attacks. So we keep it about football right here. And so I know you're obviously passionate about this topic, although that you are losing terribly. No personal attacks in the chat. That's my only rule. I'm fine with you being passionate right about your football take, but there is no personal attacks in the chat. Let's see. Michael Bell Jr. Chiefs and Bills are evenly matched for the most part in the playoffs. is the difference is always either 1 or 2 plays or 1 or 2 mistakes. That's how it is. Todd Tobin, are you shitting me? JA17 is the best quarterback in the league now. Numbers don't lie. Folks are goofier than wow. Wow, man. Wow. Dan, a timeout? I mean, not yet. Not yet. We'll see if he behaves. So I'm fine with him being here and talking ball. I really don't mind. But if he starts throwing out those personal attacks and stuff and calling people morons, that's where I'm going to have to lay the law down. You know what I'm saying? So Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. He is the new GOAT till someone takes over. Zero debate. So I feel like there's a lot more to debate there, right? So would you say that Joe Flacco is better than Dan Marino because he won a ring and Dan Marino has not? No. I feel like you're looking at Patrick Mahomes' rings when that is a team accomplishment rather than how he has played for the past 2 years. Lining up Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes side by side, and even Lamar Jackson. So Raven for Life 716. I think that we can say this. So Lamar Jackson has played better football than Patrick Mahomes for the past 2 years. I am not talking about collectively and their careers. I am talking individual performances for the past 2 years. That I think we can all agree on. Lamar and Josh have been playing better football than Patrick Mahomes for the past 2 years. It's just how it is, collectively speaking. It's not just Josh Allen. I think you can even argue Joe Burrow as well. Collectively speaking. If Josh had Bill Belichick, would this be a conversation? It's tough. It's tough to say. Jackson, Burrow, and Allen all played better ball for the past 2 years. It's true. It's true. Haters are going to hate, Dan. They hate us because they hate us. Well, I mean, look. As far as team accomplishments, we definitely haven't had that, but we will see. All right, guys. So some updates that have been coming out of camp so far. We have Dorian Strong, rookie, walking out onto the field. He is not practicing, although he was absent in the injury report that Sean McDermott said about an hour or so ago. So that's something to look out for. And then we have a video of Terry Pagula and Brandon Beane having a chat on the sideline during Bills camp this morning. Something to take a look at. Y'all ever just go back and watch the video of all the kids congratulating Josh on the MVP? Brings tears to my eyes. Facts, Dan. Let's talk about that. We have Noble is coming in. Hey, Dan. And so you probably did this already, but what is your Bills record prediction in 2025? 1 seed or not? I have us going 14-3 and the 1 seed. 14-3 and the 1 seed, man. Who earned MVP of the NFL last season? Did Burrow and Chase suck last season because they didn't go to the playoffs? No, because their defense failed them. It's the whole rings thing, right? Guys, wins and rings are not a quarterback accomplishment. I'm not arguing that. All right? It's crazy. We have Sandman has come in, ship Jim to Philly, then we get some refs in return. Super Bowl, here we come. It's because they don't give Josh enough star power. So first off, like when it comes into star power, dude, that's not the formula for a winning football team these days. It's really not. So for the past 3 years, once Tyreek Hill left the Kansas City Chiefs, all they had was an aging Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce was not good last year. He's probably not going to be good this year. All they had was a bunch of rookies, like right on top of the deal. What Buffalo does well and why I so appreciate this front office is due to the fact that we have a very good general manager that's able to allow us to keep as much of a complete team as humanly possible. Like we regularly don't have a year where we have multiple position groups that are a giant weakness. Depth has been the issue. It's not star power, it's depth. Half of the reason why the Buffalo Bills have faltered in the playoffs for the past couple of seasons have been because our star power was not able to play during the divisional round or during the AFC Championship game. Like, that's just a fact. So I'm not sure if, like, you have these unreasonable expectations where, like, you think that we need starting caliber players at the second string all across our roster. I hate to say it, right? But this is not baseball with no salary cap. So there is a salary cap. If there's anything that I will criticize the Buffalo Bills for the past couple of seasons, was lack of quality depth, of having a significant drop off. I'm not anticipating that our second string players are slept on Pro Bowlers or all pros. That's unrealistic. Like, we don't have an unlimited salary cap here. But what I did like is having serviceable people, serviceable players that have the second string. And so the Bills have just like had multiple playoff exits where like we were without Christian Benford, Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, and we had to resort to literally having open field tryouts with Buffalo, some locals for a tryout for them to play in a playoff game. That's largely what it is. We have Quack Attack. I think bro is just rage baiting at this point. Yeah, I'm probably going to ignore him for the rest of the stream, to be honest with you. I don't know, man. I disagree about star power because the Eagles had Saquon and Devontae and A.J. Brown and Jalen Carter, with the Rams had the OBJ and Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford, AD, and Ramsey. Like, look, so that's fair. But what is the most consistent formula for the past couple of years? So you have to look at the Patriots and you have to look at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not so much concerned about some one-off Super Bowl champions because what Philadelphia and what the LA Rams did that one year is not sustainable from a cap perspective. Why Kansas City has been so consistent is number one, so they draft well and they have a bunch of cheap contracts. That's why. Same thing with the Patriots back in the day. Very rarely did they have a star-studded roster, maybe outside of a couple of years. What's consistent and what's going for like an actual dynasty is the exact same formula that Kansas City has put out on the table for the past like 6 to 7 years. Like, that's the consistent formula for winning. So you think the reason they made the tracker in the football this year is because the Josh Allen tush push got called short in the Chiefs game? Yes, most definitely. Yet another rule made for Josh Allen. I love it. So some people think that that's embarrassing. I do not believe that that's the case. James Cook's hold-in has extended into the 4th straight practice training camp. Is there trouble in paradise? What is the latest? Look at that, folks. Allen with a deep ball to a double team to Laviska Shenault. Wow. Okay. Broken up by Trey White and Christian Benford. White stayed down long enough afterwards to make everyone hold their breath, but popped back up. Okay. Come on, dude. For the love of God. For the love of God, man. No more injuries. Give us a break. Thank God Trey White's okay. Wrap out again and potentially a right knee. We at least know why Grable left yesterday due to a concussion. Number of missed practices. We have Cook 4. We have Van Pran Granger 12. Max Harrison 6. We have Alec Anderson 7. Shakir 4. Bishop 6. Samuel 9. Prather 8. You have Thompson 4. Bass 8. So the Tyler Bass injury is still concerning. Wrap knee, strong TBA 1. Sean McDermott observing his receivers running routes prior to team drills. Let's go into it. Terry Pagula and Brandon Bean having a chat. All right, folks, practice is underway. We have Chuck Schumer is at the Bills camp today. All right. We have Trey White and Christian Benford just teamed up to break up a deep ball intended for Laviska. Love to hear that. All is good with the Hard Knocks star. And the hometown kid, Joe Andreessen, is going to have an expanded role this year as the backup linebacker position after making the roster as an undrafted free agent just a summer ago. Bobby Babbitt summed it up best by saying it's not Buffalo Joe anymore. It's Joe Andreessen, the football player. I love that. I love that. Team drills underway, and Josh Allen tries to fit a deep shot to Laviska Shenault into double coverage, but it falls incomplete. Benford and Trey White on the coverage. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, folks. Guys, 404 of you are in the chat right now. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up sign for me. It takes less than a second, helps out the channel tremendously. And I hope that you stick around all season long. I am live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. EST and I think 4 p.m. EST typically. So subscribe and turn on bell notifications so you never miss an episode. Trey White is CB2. It is looking like that, barring some sort of crazy development. Dan, what Kansas City doing is rare. I get that Beans doing consistency, but wouldn't you trade a cap-screwed team, Rams, for a Lombardi? Fun fact, Rams are still fun to watch, not terrible. So say, for example, that there was something really wrong with the DNA rate of the Buffalo Bills, then yes. But I can't look at the past couple of seasons and find any other answer as into why we ended up leaving the playoffs was due to injuries at the worst possible time. Say, for example, that there was something wrong schematically, because when Buffalo was fully healthy last year, no one could beat us. Like, we were doing well, and not even fully healthy, because that's unreasonable, right? Like, no football team's ever going to be fully healthy all season long. But I think we can't deny, like, when you end up looking at all of the injury reports for the past couple of seasons, we were missing 2 to 3 of our key pieces on the defensive side of the football. So, no, I'm not willing to do that just yet, because I really think that this is a hell of a lot closer than we think. Love the content, Dan. Keep up the stellar work. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Dion, I want to get McGovern jersey this year. I know. Wouldn't that be good? Dan, I'm getting a frame for my Dion Dawkins jersey. Dude, that is beautiful. So I do need to add to my collection here a little bit later. I have that Kelly jersey that I still need to hang up. I have a couple of other things I need to put into this background. Hopefully this weekend, my setup will be complete. Let's see if I can give you guys like a tour right here. So we have my TV right here. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. Have a whiteboard, some business. We have Bob right over here. We have a Bills flag over here, but this is my background. It's like a really nice office. I fucking love it. But what I do need to have is, first off, that boom arm. And then I also ordered a black shag rug because I guess it helps out with the echo. But this place is about to look filthy. And so I'm even thinking about a mini fridge right over here for some in-season activities, which should be ideal. Dan, and do you think we have enough depth to withstand the injury bug in the playoffs? Because I think we do. McDermott has been riding that excuse for years. Yes. I really think the theme this offseason was making sure that we have as many insurance policies on the defensive line and the secondary as well. So I really think that there's no excuse at this point. Let's get it in. James Cook. All right, folks. Let's get it in here. Let me see what we got. What do my boys got to say? We got Quack Attack is in the building. Get LED lights and make them red and blue. I'm also thinking about doing that as well on the door frame and then also on the bookshelf back there as well, which should be pretty solid. You need to get those. So you need to get the Govee curtains too. Lights, it will be fire. Some Govee curtains. That's right. I do remember those. I'm going to have to check it out. I am excited to watch this defensive line this year. I feel like a lot of us are. Why didn't we sign Jordan Phillips again? he was an instant game changer last year. He's getting old, and like it or not, and so I do think that with Larry Ogunjobi and Michael Hoyt were like better upgrades, but we shall see. You will need a Tua trash can for those roundtable debates. We have Bearded Johnson. Could also get some acoustic foam panels to put on the walls to help reduce the echo. I was considering those as well. I have been dropping way too much money on this office and for the past couple of days, so I'm going to see what the rug does. But trust me, they are indeed in the Amazon cart. But when will I pull the trigger? That is the question. Dan, and you need to get a Bills neon sign. I got one and it is sick. I do have one. It's janky though, so I might need to get one more. Definitely a nice setup. Loving the Bills flag. Got the same one hanging up in my room. Yeah, dude, it's solid. Larry waved at me at the red and blue practice. You love to hear it. We have Dragon. So the neon are amazing. I'm gonna have to check them out, Jude. As I was at, oh man. And the only thing Pat has over Allen is having a better coach. That's it. So Mahomes doesn't outplay him, and he does it not by much. Allen matches have come down to crucial play calling for sure. And the janky is the best. Maybe. Do you think that this is our year? I mean, I hope so. And so I really hope so. So I look at the Buffalo Bills, and you know what? It's set up perfectly for us to get the 1 seed because we have a very easy schedule. So we play Baltimore week 1, and I really don't see a game that scares me. So until Philadelphia, and who knows where Philadelphia is going to be? Maybe they have that division locked up, and we potentially end up winning them. I do think that Sean McDermott and company are really taking that Eagles game seriously because it is the only team that Buffalo has yet to beat at all since McDermott has taken over as head coach and Josh Allen has been quarterback. So, I don't know. And look, it's hard for me to look at the Eagles matchup and say, oh my God, that's automatically a loss, right? Because we had the same energy last year when we saw the Detroit Lions on our schedule. Everybody thought that the Lions were going to kick our ass. I would say about 50% of Bills fans thought that too. But it's every year, folks. It's every year where we ultimately end up having a game on our schedule where we ultimately end up going through with it. So let's see. We have Quack Attack. It is good, and I hang a ton stuffed animals, dolphins, in my living room and smack them with a giant paddle when we play the Finns. You have to, man. Happy as it is football season, I'm excited to see how our roster to play on the field and see what makes this roster better. Guys, listen, so I know that there are several conversations going on in the live chat. So say, for example, that you have a statement and or a question that you would like me to read so I can avoid those conversations right in the chat. Start them with either an S and or a Q so I know that it is directed to me and not to somebody else in the chat. With Mitchie Biscuits set to start for the Bills Saturday against the Giants, he's working some reps with the ones today. He connected with Josh Palmer, Keon Coleman in back-to-back plays. How about Mitchie Biscuits out there doing whatever he can to secure that QB2 spot? He's going to have to do a lot because he's very expensive. That's where I'm at. So Mahomes in the playoffs has massively benefited from having a defense that shows up. He has a game wrecker in Chris Jones, and Spags is the reason they've had success in the last few years in the playoffs. Yeah, like it's not a wild take, so to say that for the past 2 years that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have just been a better quarterback than him. It's not a crazy take. I'm getting sick of pretending that it's not. Like it's reasonable. It's reasonable. Like no one's saying Patrick Mahomes is bad. He's still an elite quarterback. He's still very good. but very much how we looked at Aaron Rodgers 5 years ago, where he was a unanimous top 2, top 3 QB in the NFL. Now he's about 15th, 16th. It's the exact same sentiment. It's the exact same energy. Sometimes you get dethroned as far as pound for pound best QB. It just happens. How many QBs will they carry behind Allen on the roster? Likely just 2, and then 1 for the practice squad. You have Quinyon Mitchell is a rookie cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles, known for his strong performance and trash talking ability. Dan, can you try to match the Mitchell's trash talking? Me? So I've scaled it back a little bit, and so I think a lot of you probably have noticed. I think I'll probably get back to my old ways once it comes into preview week, and then also my live play-by-play reactions. But yeah, man, like we've been a bit more professional on the channel, I think, especially during the off season and especially during the training camp side. So basically I am just going to be using it as an unexpected treat for you guys when I hop on the trash talking side of things. Mitch Trubisky is doing his thing, folks. I love to see it. I love to see it. Hello, Bella. How you doing? Thank you. Bella Rose is in the building. Dan, I set up a man cave in my new house in the garage and or basement. All I can think of right now is waking up on a cold breeze Sunday knowing I get to watch Josh Allen on my TV. Ooh, I know. It's going to be nice on September 7th. September 7th, man, is when we're going to see it, because so it does sound like we're not going to be seeing any Josh Allen at all, like during the preseason. All I can think of right now is waking up on a cold breeze Sunday knowing I get to watch Josh Allen on my television. What do you think is going to happen with Cook based on what happened with Kyren Williams? And do you think he gets his money or is traded or something else? So I think with Kyren Williams, I think that sets the market for tier 2 running backs where Kyren and James Cook are currently placed. Say that James does get a deal, it's going to be a deal very similar to Kyren. And say to make him happy, I'm sure we'll probably end up giving him just $1 million more in overall value and $1 million more in total guarantees. That's a fair deal, say that you were to ask me. I never get those fans that quit on their team before kickoff in any given Sunday is a thing. And the only time I throw in the towel is when the clock is at 0. Go Bills. We have Teddy. Dan doesn't talk trash. He just spits facts that hurt. I like that. I like that. Dan, did you see the Trade Day Sunday got officially added to the menu? I did. And I'm living vicariously through anybody that tries it because it did look banging. It looked really good. Matt Milano, dude, thank God Matt Milano is out here doing his damn thing. Thank you, Lord, dude. That makes me happy. That makes me happy, dude. Matt Milano out here doing what we need him to do. Is elite Matt Milano potentially back? That is the question. That is the question. Matt Milano continues to show terrific sideline to sideline speed. He just closed the gap on a running back, Ray Davis, to blow up an off-tackle run to the right for what would have been no gain. Leo Ox comes in with a $5 donation. Dan, question, is Terry McLaurin a real possibility? No. So I really don't think Micah Parsons and or Terry McLaurin and or Trey Hendrickson are going to be wearing a different uniform at this point. Like, we've seen this movie a million times. Like, we saw it with Debo a couple of years ago with San Francisco where he demanded a trade. Didn't happen. Same thing with Brandon Ayuk. Didn't happen. It's largely right now just a tactic for negotiation. So I don't think that either of those players are going to be shipped off at all. And I don't particularly think that the Buffalo Bills would have went on ahead and did all that. We have that. What did Bob do? I just ended up getting excited, man. I just got excited that Matt Milano continues to impress me. I think that that's the case. All right. Bills beat is coming in. And let's see. So it appears as if both Curtis Samuel, hamstring and Cole Bishop hamstring are nearing a return to the practice field. Both players have upped their participation with athletic trainers in recent days. That is indeed good news right there, folks. Per Dom Tibbetts, somebody, of course, that we need to keep an eye out on, right? Because as many of you know, I'm very high on Curtis Samuel. I do think he brings a lot to the table. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. And again, he's proving that he is an injury-prone type person. Let's see. So, Dan, I've been paying attention to practice, and the Colts and Ravens won especially not too long ago, and the Colts smoked them. It's practice. I wouldn't look too much into it, but hey, that's good to know. Let's get into it. Dan, I just want to strike a conversation. Would you entertain moving on from Terran? He's getting over, and the slot defense seems to not only be failing us, but not the best for the current thoughts in the NFL. That's an interesting conversation, actually. Here, hold on. So I got to fix Bob real fast. So it's Aaron Johnson. It's definitely a hard conversation. I would say. So I'd say that Taron Johnson is probably one of our best defensive players. So that's going to be tough, right? So a very good slot corner. For me, so would I be open to it? Yes. But I feel like we would need to have an answer for that third linebacker. And remember, so Matt Milano is probably not going to be on this team next year, not unless Buffalo wants to bring back a guy who's going to be 31 years old with an injury history. So we would really need to make sure that our 4-3 linebackers would be very, very good, solid. And I think you do make a really good point as well, because now as the NFL is shifting once again back to almost a run-first type league, like 4 or 5 years ago, we all knew that when you ran that slot corner scheme or with the nickel, that was back when it was the air raid offense that was the main theme of the NFL. So, yes, I would be open to it, but would Sean McDermott just be open to it? Because that's been his bread and butter for a long time. That even dates back to when he was in Carolina for quite some time. So that's the question. Thanks, Dan. Leo, dude, I just appreciate the super chat, man. I just appreciate the super chat. Let me see. Okay. So to piggyback off of that question, would we be utilizing a slot corner if we didn't have one as good as Taron Johnson, or would we be going 3 linebackers? It's a good question. That's a really, really good question. I still think that that's his scheme of choice. Say, for example, that we had a significant drop off and that slot corner was maybe ranked 20th or 25th, then maybe we would be seeing a bit more 4-3. So maybe having Taron Johnson as good as he is half of the reason why we're so married to that scheme in the first place. That's a pretty good question. But right at the same time, when you look at games when Taron Johnson has not been available, we still run it, but we just ended up having Cam Lewis out there getting cooked at every second, right? So that's kind of where it's at. Oh, man. Okay. So do you think the Steelers could be a sub-7 win team? I do, because of the turnover and key roster spots. The offensive line is shaky and Rodgers is an immobile bullseye. What is your take? Let's read that again. And do you think the Steelers could be a sub-7 win team? I do, because of the turnovers in key roster spots, and the offensive line is shaky and Rodgers is an immobile bullseye. What is your take? So I think it's pretty ballsy. So to vote against Mike Tomlin, so to finish worse than 9 wins, that just seems to be a locked in thing each and every single NFL season. While I don't think Aaron Rodgers is any close to what he used to be, I do always like pointing out that Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen had the exact same statistics for the most part in several categories last year when it came into passing. Now, why Josh exceeded him, obviously, was with what he did on the ground. But I don't think that Rodgers is completely done. I really think that his time in New York was plagued, obviously, with his Achilles, and then going into year 2 was just an incompetent front office that got rid of their head coach way too soon. And they put a guy that had no business in calling plays whatsoever. They regularly switch play callers. So don't sleep on Aaron Rodgers to actually help the Steelers take that next step. Now, am I saying that they're going to win the AFC North? No, but I do think it's pretty reasonable to say that they could be a 10 to 11 win team, especially since they did what they did last year with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields as their quarterback. I'm actually pretty optimistic in the Steelers. Question, to continue this Taron conversation, if we ever did move off of Taron, could you see Hancock as his replacement in the slot if he didn't work in at safety? That right there is a key camp battle that a lot of us are not talking about. It's between Jordan Hancock and Cam Lewis as our backup slot, or as our utility piece as well. I mean, we're just going to have to see, boys. We're just going to have to see. I was a big fan of Jordan Hancock while he was at Ohio State. He's a very talented player, but what can he do? Okay. Forrest has not made any headway during his time with the Bills. I've seen flashes from him, but he is stuck behind Damar Hamlin and even Cam Lewis, perhaps even Jordan Hancock, in the pecking order for reps. If he makes the team, expect him to be special teams contributor only. Tell you what. So with Derek Forrest, man, again. So a former safety right over in Washington, had 4 interceptions back in 2022. He was injured in 2023. And in 2024, Dan Quinn did not call his number too often. I kind of became a non-believer of Derek Forrest once I ended up watching his tape. That's where we're at. Question, is Roundtable Sports bringing back Master at Work to the table? It's Colby is going to be the Patriots representative for now. Well, he is our Patriots contributor moving forward. With Master at Work, he is going to be like a guest. He's going to be helping us out with some editing, some videos, and everything along those lines. But Colby is the Patriots representative. But you will be seeing Master at Work as special guest appearances. He's going to be helping us out quite a bit in the background as well. But I'm glad that you guys were happy to see him last night. But my boy Colby, he is the Patriots representative. Statement, if Cook is traded or not resigned next year, I hope that the Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love will fall to the Bills. He is a better version of Cook who can actually block well. Yeah, so Love is the best running back in college football. He's probably going to be taken, I would say, close to where Ashton Genty was taken this past draft. So that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Which rookie do you think will have the biggest impact? Biggest impact for a rookie? Since Max Harrison went down, we're probably not going to see a lot from him this year. So it's my vote. I'd say TJ Sanders, probably. I'd say TJ Sanders. Forrest feels like someone who got excited about in the spring, and now that it's time to play, he's doing nothing, kind of like Curtis Samuel. First episode of Hard Knocks featuring the Bills was extremely boring, just like the team surely wanted it to be. Look at that. Look at that, folks. And that first tackle for loss right in the backfield is going to hit so hard. Oh, my God. My son is playing tackle football for the first time this year, and he is learning gaps, how plays are called, formations, etc. He's amazed when I'm able to explain everything to him that his coaches have been telling him. I had to have a little talk yesterday about being one of the first to all of the drills. If there is one thing football coaches love, it is hustle. Damn, baby. Damn, man. In advance of Saturday's preseason start, quarterback Mitchell Trubisky is getting some reps with the starting offensive line today. Saturday is a big day for us, folks. Saturday is a big day. As we are approaching 2 hours on the stream, folks, 251 of you are in the chat. Do me a favor, smash that like button, propel this out to the YouTube algorithm, and let's get down to business. Let's get down to business, folks. Dan, and did you see they are going to have a college version of Red Zone? Honestly, I cannot wait. It's about time. I was shocked that they never had a Red Zone for college football. It's so tough because typically there's so many games I really want to tap into, and it's frustrating. So I'm glad that Red Zone is going to be on for college football. It's going to make my life a hell of a lot easier since I cover college ball now. So that's going to be something interesting. Statement: Master at Work and TD Fights is must-see content. Good morning, Bills Mafia. What are your thoughts on the Browns quarterback situation? Are there any thoughts on Shador? So I think the Browns are probably going to go with Flacco for week 1, and we'll see if he keeps the job. I don't particularly think the Browns are going to do very well this year. I think that they're going to do better than the 3 to 4 wins that people are pegging them to have. Shador, it's tough, man, because right now they currently have 5 quarterbacks on the roster, 6 if you include Deshaun Watson, who is still technically a part of the team. I don't know. So we will have our answer. And so I believe it's tomorrow where he faces off and Shador is going to get the start. But let's see. Shador is going to be a bust. Question: and do you think the lack of pass coverage from our safety duo will be a nuance in the secondary and hold back our corners? So I'll tell you what. So I felt a hell of a lot more comfortable when we had a guy that was projected to start at CB2 who ran a 4.2 in Max Harrison. I thought that that was a great insurance policy because who cares if Cole Bishop was getting burned? You already know that Maxwell Harrison would be able to cover that ground anyway. Now that he's not, of course he is. But what helps me sleep at night is going to be due to the fact that this league doesn't stretch the field nearly as often as they used to. It's no longer an air raid type offense league. It's more of a run first, short passes, and make your wide receivers create yards after the catch. And what Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp do very well is be a downfield tackling type safety. That's what you need with how the NFL offenses have evolved to for the past couple of seasons. Sure, like maybe we're going to be subjected for a couple of plays here and there per game, but I think we just need to trust that maybe they end up making a play right on those very limited scenarios about 70 to 80% of the time, and I'm okay. There's probably going to be a couple of times where they are exploited, but for the most part, so I continue to say that I think safety is probably one of the most least important contributors to nowadays NFL defenses. That's my thing. What channel/streaming service is the game going to be on this weekend? So I want to say here, hold up. NFL preseason schedule. Here, let me see. So we play on Sunday. I know that. No, excuse me, Saturday. Okay. So the Buffalo Bills are the only team that are playing at 1:00 on right on Saturday, followed by 1 game at 4 and 4 games at 7. So I'd want to say that it should be on the NFL Network. It should be on. And they will run it. Got it. Best quarterback wins the Super Bowl. He provides for the team. Josh Allen provides for his team, but doesn't win the Super Bowl. So he is really the best in the NFL. I saw your X short and commented. Thank you, J-Dog. I appreciate it. Statement: parking around the stadium is super pricey, and the main lots are well over $100, and the private lots along Big Tree Road are around $100. I drove by the stadium yesterday. Just an FYI for week 3. I'm probably going to be Ubering. So to be completely honest with you, right to the stadium. We have an Airbnb that's super close to the stadium as well. I suppose theoretically we could walk. Dan, I just got my tickets for week 1 of the preseason against New York Giants this weekend. Dude, have a blast. And so enjoy some Mitchie Biscuits updates, man. And Dan Marino was the best quarterback in the league for years with 0 Super Bowl wins. We have the NFL Network. I don't think the Browns are going to start a different quarterback each preseason game. ESPN question: and do you think we might see a ride in total run plays for each team this season? I feel like with DBs getting smaller and faster, teams might be looking to lean back into a powerhouse run. It's certainly trending that way already, right? I really think that now, like what teams are going to prefer within a specific running back is going to be that, because that's probably the biggest debate right over Travis Hunter, like being like, okay, how good of a DB is he going to be in run stopping, for example? And same thing could be said about Maxwell Harrison. How is he going to tackle a guy like Derrick Henry, or how is he going to tackle a guy like Saquon Barkley, or like a big running back? It's how the league evolves each and every single year. Like, you are always going back to the drawing board and noticing the trends of where NFL teams are going and trying to completely flip that upside down. It is a never-ending cycle. While we have right now a short pass, a run-first type league already, eventually teams are going to attempt to address that by shifting their personnel preferences. And that's when the offenses are going to go back to air raid, right? So say, for example, that the NFL ends up going into the powerhouse type run scheme, like really big running backs, right? Maybe eventually now teams are going to start drafting more physical DBs on the outside that can provide something to that game. But soon as when they do that, that's when the offensive coordinator is going to be like, okay, let's burn these thick DBs and get back to the air raid type offense. It's a never ending cycle of how the league rolls out. Why are we not seeing Cook like it over this entire thing? With Cook, I want to keep Cook, but this is frustrating. It certainly is frustrating. I am going to the Bills game, Dan. AJ, have a damn good time, my friend. Have a good time. Can't be called a bust if you were drafted in the 5th round. LMAO. That is true. That is indeed true. Something to think about. I'm not seeing a lot of Josh Allen at camp today, which makes sense since he'll be sitting out for the Bills' preseason opener. Mitch Trubisky getting reps with the ones after being named the starter on Saturday against the Giants. He is a completion with Mike White for the backup job. Forrest feels like someone who got excited about the spring. Interesting. All right, folks. It sounds like not a lot's happening at camp today. So I am going to cut this stream short. Then again, we were live for about 2 hours, and I appreciate you guys. I will be live. I have a really busy day ahead of me today. I have 4th and Forever starting at 1:30 p.m. EST over at the Roundtable Sports Network. That is our daily NFL news show. I highly recommend you come and you tap in and you check that out. We cover everything that happens around the league, so stay tuned. Followed at 5 p.m. EST, I have the Bills Roundtable. At 6 p.m. EST, I have Roundtable College Football. And I almost forgot that I have my stream again at 4 p.m. So I have a long day ahead of me. If, for example, you want to tap in and check out any of these shows, we have 4 more streams that you can check me out on, all right? We have the 4th and Forever, like I said, at 1:30, followed by my stream again over here at 4, followed by the Bills Roundtable at 5, followed by Roundtable College Football at 6. Love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you here in just a couple of hours. Peace.